time to put an end to our luxury cruise. Maybe that could be taken out of a bad thing. Hi guys, welcome back. Scatlink here, we are off for more of Hat in Time Seal the Deal. And in the last episode, we ran around the ship helping the captain, crew and passengers to keep it shipshape and earn his respect in order to access the lost and found for another timepiece that was returned to the staff, I guess. And now it's returned to its rightful owner, Hadkid herself, and it's time for, well, already, it came pretty quick, the final finale of the Arctic cruise, Rock the Boat. This looks chilling to say the least, although I do love the lighting on Hadkid right there. We've got to rescue all the kids, all the conductor's kids. If we don't rescue them, he's going to have our heads with a knife. Unless, you know, the baby that she's actually holding onto has a knife as well as a little top hat like hers. Maybe the conductor actually likes us? Fan? I mean, we were his biggest actor at the time, so who knows? Some prestigious. That's a big glow. Captain?
Do I not look busy to you, pup? Go play somewhere. Let an old captain relax. The SEALs can handle things for a minute.
Are you sure about that? You do know that they're not exactly, you know, reliable.
Hopefully they've learned not to mess with the steering wheel by now.
Well, saying that is like a time for a jinx. That's a big shine, and there's a bunch of boats in the distance as well. There's one over there, behind that big old iceberg. I mean, there's a couple of icebergs quite close to us, actually. And, there's a ship over there as well. Let's have a little look here. Well, it doesn't bring it into focus, which you would like to expect, but what gives a shine like that? That's a timepiece. Now, we could, you know, use a wing mod in order to fly over there and check to see what's going on, but I'm not going to do that. But I will say that in some points in this particular act, some icebergs are actually solid, even if they were very far into the distance. These particular ones, though, are not. You'll see why. This is all a set piece. But yeah, that must be a timepiece, and we need to get to that somehow.
How's it going, dudette? The view up here is like wild, huh? Those icebergs are pretty big, but don't worry. I read a pamphlet that says this boat, like, can't sink at all. Like the one in that movie, you know? About the boat that, like, couldn't sink. Never did see the end of that one.
Ah, well, sorry to give spoilers, but it is like a 20-year-old movie. I would... 20 to 30-year-old? I don't know. I don't know how old it is. I was born in 1996. And, yeah, the ship that cannot sink actually did sink by an iceberg. Yeah, as I said, this is kind of like a reference to the Titanic, even though the boat isn't shaped like it. It's literally called the SS Cannot Sink. That's the name of the ship. Not exactly subtle, is it? And, yeah, it's in an icebergy area. It's a luxury cruise liner. And if we know what happened, I don't know how that works with the the hat that we're wearing. Okay, I'll just do that, I guess. But yeah, wasn't exactly, you know, good news. The ship sunk, and the thing is as well, the movie is like a romance film as well. It's romance centered, and to be honest, I don't know how to feel about that, because that's pretty much taking like an actual real life event and making a love story out of it. I mean, I guess it works because it's like love in the face of danger, but still, it's a bit... I don't know how to take this. I'm trying to stay neutral, if that makes any sense. They obviously wanted to do something. In between that little transition, I decided to change my equipment a bit. I'm now wearing a nice festive sweater, kind of fits the theme of it being in an icy area. Also a lot more cheery, to offset what, you know, as I just brought up the Titanic, and so did that fish. And we need to head to an iceberg. I think we need to offset the impending doom that we are ourselves about to rot. And also, this is a sprint hat Flair, the Antlers, that also give us a Rudolph nose. I wanted to use this during this particular chapter at some point, because I don't think I'm going to be able to show it off elsewhere, and it was actually a mod spotlight, so, that's pretty cool. Anyway, I do actually want to change my equipment here slightly. I want to equip the compass badge, because we are going to be getting more collectibles at some point. But, yeah. Not going off on that anymore, which apparently things are still not ship shape. I mean, didn't I not just clean up? Jesus. But yeah, I hope you don't mind if I swerve to the right and swerve to the left. We actually do need to rock the boat, but we do want to just go this direction.
Hello? The captain has a message.
Hand me that microphone. Who's at the wheel? We're headed straight for an iceberg. All hands on deck.
Right, I'm doing a big turn back. No, too late. Would have been nice if, you know, the screens are actually more accurate. Just saying. Because apparently, well, I don't expect the screens to actually tell us where we're going, like if we're going toward the timepiece. But seriously, a big iceberg, and yeah, we get a mid-load without the title card mid-level. I mean, even when we went to the Queen Vanessa's Manor, we got the right loading screen, but then again, you could have chosen a different act and then went to that. That's a thing. But look what we have wrought. It's on like a 70-degree angle than what it was before, covered in ice. We have put so many innocent lives in danger just for a timepiece.
It's all going down, pup. I never thought I'd see the day. We're making the voyage, too. Won't take more than a few minutes for all this to hit the seafloor, I think. Well, you might want to get to a lifeboat, pup. It'd be smart.
Okay, I do not know why the game absolutely bugged out with its frame rate there, but I thought it was actually going to crash again, like it did in that in the Beat the Heat Death Wish for a second. Now I don't know what happened there, but yeah, he says that there's a time limit. There's actually not a time limit. In a way, the ship's kind of quote unquote frozen in time, hence we have no time limit. Also, the fact that we're, you know, it's actually freezing over while it's capsizing. Why are those guys just chilling up there? I actually never noticed that before. And these fish aren't going to survive that long. But yeah, we've got passengers to rescue. Don't worry, little buddy, I'll save you, because if I do not, the conductor probably will kill me. Yeah, get out of the water. It's the same Arctic water that we've been dealing so far. We're going to have to be careful with that. Don't stay in it too long. But then again, you could use the mod Seal Hat in order to do so. I can't remember if it's actually an official mod, but it's a pretty well made mod. I mean, it's another sprint hat that, you know, I've already used a few. I thought I'd mention it, because I've been mentioning mods throughout this entire goddamn thing, including what I'm wearing. But yeah, we caused this just to get a timepiece. We did the... To quote JonTron,
I did the Titanic.
yeah. It's a little bit... I don't know how to take this. I don't know if it's in good or bad taste. I know it's a reference. I mean, it's already gone and happened. Excuse me. Yeah, I thought the doors were supposed to be open there. That was a bit weird. Oh, God. Don't do that. Okay, so... Trying to recompose ourselves for a second here. Yeah, the ship is completely capsized. We got a platform all around the area, and even though Hat Kid needs the timepieces, because we already know how devastating they are in the wrong hands, like Moustache Girl, if she hasn't got the right mindset, at least. You know, the playable MU says otherwise, because she's learnt from her mistakes, because we gave her a good whooping. But yeah, we need to rescue all the people, but this place doesn't seem to lead anywhere, except for that there is a collectible here. I mean, you can probably see it in the recording right now. I mean, I don't do any contrast things at all, but my TV's a little bit darker than the recording. But you can easily see it if I just whip this out. I guess this is just an excuse for me to whip this out, but yeah. Let's just drop it there, because it actually does not stay on the water. There's a rift token here! That's what the map badge, or compass badge, was pointing to at this point. This was actually the first one it was pointing to, it's the closest one. And yeah, it's in the shadows, so you probably won't see it. Again, no glow, so you just have to know what to look for. These weren't here! When we were going through the ship before, where did they come from? Were they just floating in the sea? Did they just happen to enter the ship during capsization? Or were they in suitcases we weren't allowed to access? I mean, the badge would have probably found that, but no, because this is technically a separate area in the game's code, we do have more collectibles to grab. Speaking of which, there's one right below me. Is it the Lost and Found box? No, even if you try to use the ice hat, you can't get through it. Actually, this is kind of festive, look at that. Kind of offsetting what I'm going on about here, but yeah. To get this one, and I don't like this one, we have to go behind the box, through the counter, or the underside of the counter, somehow move when we can't, because we're not supposed to move down here, and that's where it's located. This one should have a shine, because this one's an easy one to miss, and even if you do know where it is, how do you get to it? And it doesn't feel like you're supposed to be able to get this, because the camera doesn't help in the slightest. Observe. I need to get out of here now. I need to wall jump. I need to somehow get back above the lost and found box, which I just realised the seats for the box, but that I will just chalk that up to being wet. We need to get out. We can't see what we're doing. You got to double jump, and oh well, that was a good camera angle, but the camera had to auto-correct itself, which actually made it incorrect because I couldn't see what it was doing. I don't like how that the camera bugs out quite a lot in this DLC. I've said that already, and it does annoy me. So, I mean, when developing this level, I mean, for one thing, I do not know why for the fact that this dude's still pumping away with electricity while it's under the water. To save you, good sir, because this is definitely the most dangerous room in the entire ship. Maybe it shouldn't be so low. This dude's pumping, trying to keep the place afloat, but at the same time electrifying the water, which I believe we still get hurt by if we landed, by the way. And yet, in fact, it'll be a lot easier if I go out this way. But if you want to continue through in this... Oh, whoops. If you want to continue going through this room, there is actually a lifeboat to get through to the laundry room. I'm not going to do that because I need to get this guy out of here. And I prefer to do it one at a time because of your controls going to be messed up. Although the last two of this particular segment, I would grab both at once. So, because you can actually leave one close to the exit and then you can grab them both on the way. But I'm trying to voice all my concerns right now because it's all happening at once. But yeah, that room, completely void of electricity. Yeah, safety hazard is right. But what I want to know is, and I do know that, you know, electricity is water conducts electricity, but how does it work if it's cold water, like ice cold? I mean, I guess it'll be the same thing, but how does it work if it's also salty water? Because the sea water is salty. And how much water does there have to be in order for the water to not actually, you know, conduct the whole entire lot? You'd think that, oh, I dropped like a battery or a toaster into the sea, it's going to electrify the entire sea. I mean, that obviously that doesn't happen. What I want to know is why. Is there so much water that it just disperses to a certain point but the current cannot flow any further? That might be it. That sounds correct physically, and it is contained in the engine room only. It's not around the rest of the ship, so that would actually be very consistent with real life, considering that this is based off of the Titanic. I'm having to stop moving because there's so much for me to like talk about during this. But yeah, there was a seal there. I'm going to ignore him because he's close to the exit. I'm going to go down here and get this one. The arrow is pointing upwards. Not seeming to be any more in the ship considering we're at the bottom of the actual water here. But I'm not going to go for this guy either. In fact, I'm going to keep on going and go into the laundry room. So we're going to leave those two guys for now. Jump up here into the kitchen, which the cookers are still working, by the way. Still spitting out fire like the safety hazards that they are. We'll climb off this wall and try to... Oh boy. Well, now I've got to do the whole room. Oh, that's even worse. Wow, that just went completely wrong. Take a bit of a shortcut there. Jump over here. Get back to where we were. I need to... Wall climb off this wall. Wall jump. That's what I needed to do. Oh my god. Everybody, I killed Hat Kid. Don't look. It's gone right through her face. Oh, wow. That couldn't have been any more terrible. As soon as I say I need to make this jump and I miss grabbing the thing, I fall all the way down, get frostbite, and then I skewer her. Just top-notch gameplay by me, good sir. Well done, Shawnee. Let's get not into the ice-cold water where we're going to take damage. If I come in here, as I said, there's a little lifeboat that blocks the current flowing to get into this room, although water's still flowing. But you could see from the angle, this is not an easy jump to make, because you could easily catch the fan, catch the water, not go, like, you can actually fall through a little crevice here. I'm walking over it right now, but if you jump it a certain way, you could clip through that, and it's really bad, plus then you got to do all this just to get your passenger out. So, so it's probably not the best idea to go out this way, and that's why I went back the way I entered, in order to get that one passenger out, which was one of the conductor's little babies. Or nieces and nephews, I'm not too sure if they're actually his or not. I mean, they are related, but, you know. Don't fall! Oh, that's not what I wanted. No! I can't see what I'm doing again. With camera, please. No! Get out of the water! No! I actually hit the water and took a hit because I kept getting cold. Oh boy. This is a very chilling level in both atmosphere and, you know, being lives on the line. And it's funny as well, we're happening to take it upon ourselves to rescue these babies because we care, because we don't want to put people in harm's way, but we wanted the timepiece. I guess Hacky just didn't think, oh, I'll just fly my ship down and pick it up. Nope, I'm already on this ship, I'm gonna do it. So, it's pretty bonkers. Right, so we're making our way over this way to get back to the lifeboat. These are the last two passengers that we need to get for now, but our compass badges do telling us there are items to grab. They're not on the parts of the ship that we can access at the moment. Now we can, but we're not on that lifeboat that just took off, even though we just were. It's because they're doing a rescue mission, but we need to stay on board to see if we find anyone else along the way, because Hat Kid's like that. So, these suitcases have now been stacked up out of nowhere, which makes no sense. And this door is now opened up, which also makes no sense, considering it's one of those submarine kind of vault spins, where you have to, like, you know, twist a gear. I mean, that's what that is, I believe. So, that's a bit weird. But yeah, we're now on the side of the ship. And the thing is, you can actually cheese this whole thing. Who needs to blow these up? I'll just get on here, and then I can just, you know, keep vaulting over these boxes, and now I'm on the side of the ship. Pro tip, do not go toward the bottom part of the ship. If you do that, the camera will for some reason bug out, and then be matched to the orientation of what the ship is right now. So everything will look correct, but you'll be walking on the walls, like it never capsized, but like I said, you'll be walking on the walls, which will be pretty weird. Also, as I said, these icebergs that you don't think you can reach are actually solid. If you also want a bit of a weird experience, there's actually something I need to bring up about this particular iceberg in general. This iceberg was actually used to grab an additional relic that would obviously be converted to a rift token if you had 4, because you know the one that we got in the bathroom? That's also present, well, it used to be present in this act. If you had already grabbed any rift tokens, or that one relic, in this, before there was an update to fix it so that one wouldn't appear, for whatever reason, if you use like the radar hat or something, or the relic badge, you would find out that all the tokens in this area have been respawned, even if you have or have not recollected them. So, if you have collected them already, that's an additional 5 you can get, because if you grab all 5, that'll be a thing. There are 5 in this area, and we've already grabbed 2 of them. But, like I said, if you go down this iceberg, all the way to the... Okay, that's a bit of a weird hitbox, look at that. You're not technically supposed to be here, but nothing stops you from doing so. It's kinda weird. But yeah, you would climb down, all the way down this iceberg to the bottom, clip through the side, go to the toilet where that relic was, and you could pick it up again. For whatever reason, it was here twice, and it wasn't removed when they made this level to be on the wonk, and for this particular purpose, and yeah, it's a bit odd. Also, that would mean that this one may respawn as well. If you remember, we had to jump over to get this one when it was upright. That one doesn't respawn, but the one in the toilet does. That's no longer there, because you had to, you know, use that iceberg to get to the bottom, because you can walk on the bottom of the iceberg right above the water, and then clip through the bottom of the ship in order to get to it. So it's because it's, you know, it's on the opposite side of the ship, so that was really weird. And yeah, so that wasn't supposed to be intended, and that's why that wasn't a thing. But yeah, all this like all this sides what am I supposed to say here? It's not side scrolling, but walking on the walls to get through this obstacle course of icicles falling from this overarching iceberg that I guess we crashed into. Don't need to do any of that. You can just skip it by doing this, and funnily enough, they actually intend you to do this in some fashion, because if we come over here, I'm trying to think where it is exactly. I always seem to forget, but we can easily skip this bit as well by just running all the way over here. If we come over this way, you can see that there's a relic on that iceberg over there, which we'll leave for a little bit later. Why am I not seeing it? Oh, there it is! It was the very first one that I walked by. I swear I could not see that when I was walking over here. That was very odd, but yeah, again, it's because there's got no shine. But yeah, there was a relic right in front of me, and there's one all the way on that iceberg. All I want to do is just get that one on that light post right there. Can I walk across it, though? That's a question. Yes, we can. We got a tightrope this. They intend you to get this. Again, this does not feel like something that you should be doing. And again, I thought that was because it was a glitch, because it was misplaced and it had no glow, and the glow is supposed to be elsewhere, but since the token weren't there, the glow don't show up, and it's just something you can collect. No, this is intended. I don't know why. This is when I first played this, and I was searching for all the all possible items. Most of these just didn't feel like that they belong there, and I keep bringing up the fact that there's no glow. That's a design choice, I know, but first time playing it, I thought it was a glitch, because I talked about the one in the screenshot for the Purple Rift. That one had a glow, but when you grab it, it don't, so, and it does clue you in that there's an item there if you didn't already grab it anyway. Yeah, it's really odd, and even then, look, I'm not even standing on this thing properly. I know I'm nitpicking, but I don't know why. As I've already said, Seal the Deals DLC, I prefer Neokuza above this one. But we need to actually go back into this little segment right here. There's nothing for us to actually grab or do anything with. We just need to go through this to a certain point. Mainly because we got to rescue a seal. Then we would fall through here, all the way down, don't press a button, and you should be safe by bouncing on a lifeboat that you can't see because the camera implodes. I would like to, you know, see what I'm doing without grabbing those heart ponds if possible. There we are. Perfect. So, yeah, we were at the top of the ship that we technically weren't supposed to be on, but the jump is super easy to do. We can reach an iceberg that we're not supposed to be on, but we can easily get to. And then we got a rift token that doesn't feel like it's supposed to be there, but it is, because it's such a very weird position. It doesn't feel natural, like, oh, it's fallen down a crevice, or like in between the two roof pieces of Queen Vanessa's manor, or it's in a chest, or, you know, it just happens to be in a tree house, just floating there because someone left their loose change. It's like, it's on top of a lamppost during a capsition, out of the way without a glow. It's so weird. Anyway, I'll stop hyping on about that, because we've got to get this little guy back to the lifeboat. But we've got to make it to the lifeboat. It's quite far away. So, we'll follow the ponds, because, you know, when in doubt, pon out, in this case. We can keep climbing here, but we actually don't need to go that way yet. That's actually for well later on. So, grab all these. And we'll be able to grab a lot more passengers here. So, everyone is already presently accounted for here. The weird thing is, these passengers are here, but once you put the four of them on, you saw that 2 seals spawned to do the rowing, and yet the owls were replaced, but now they're back again. Why weren't they the ones doing the rowing? Maybe that was like a change they never implemented and they haven't fixed it yet. I don't know. I'm nitpicking. I don't mean to nitpick. It's just a few odd instances that I notice, and I just have to bring them up because it don't feel right to me. Let's go grab this one, because this one's a cheeky one. There we are. Yeah, this is a big old iceberg. I actually like how the light shines over this one, actually. It does make this one in particular stand out. But again, no glow. I'm not going to mention that anymore, except for the fact that the final one does. Well, yeah, it actually does have a glow. You'll see what I mean. Kind of accidentally spoiled that, actually, because I had to glance at my notes. But yeah, we have actually grabbed 4 out of 5 now, so there's no more on the ship, because if I stop moving, there's one pointing over this way. But we can't really see anything. Even if we were on that side of the ship, we wouldn't be able to see anything. Mafia boss? How'd you get up here? Especially in a jar. Did you just somehow land here while everything was going nuts? And he's not even animated, actually. That's weird. I've never noticed that. That's actually pretty creepy. It's like what you see when models don't load properly in like Spyro into the Dragonfly or any game. They just sit there, motionless. They're not even blinking. Yeah, he's not even motionless. He's still not motion. He's still motionless. I don't think that's supposed to be like that. I've never noticed that. Maybe that's something I wasn't supposed to notice, but I just happened to. Yeah, I'm just going to head straight back down here and chuck him in. I'm also pretty sure he was supposed to say something. Oh, now he's moving. Oh, barely moving. Well, yeah, he is moving now. His moustache is twirling, his eyeballs bobbling about. That's weird. Why was that not? Why was it like that? But yeah, I can't remember if I've so many things. Yeah, like I said, there's going to be like a heavy information dump on stuff I want to talk about. I can't remember if I actually mentioned it because I'm just all over the place with what I'm trying to talk about here. But this level doesn't feel like it's supposed to be traversed like this. I keep slipping over the place, even though it feels like I should be able to like wall climb or something. I have to keep doing like immediate dashes and then dash cancel immediately out of it in order to make certain jumps. But yeah, it's kind of weird on what they want you to do around here. I wasn't supposed to go around that way, but it was a little quicker. Right, we need to get into the playpen here. I'm guessing the reason why the conductor was in here was because he was after his babies. And then he got stranded while rescuing them.
Be careful, lass! Mind me feathers.
So yeah, he must have got stranded in there because he was rescuing his kids. And I lost a lot of momentum with jumping there. That was strange. Again, the somersault from the double jump not being present because I'm carrying someone is throwing me off here. Oh, it happened again! What? Did I clip the water or something and that's what messes up my flow? Like touching the ooze or in the swamp in Subcon? Kind of weird that. Also, what are we doing with the Snatcher? He's just been left in a box. I mean, I guess he's ethereal and technically dead, so he could just float and escape. But yeah, we don't actually need to go back onto the ship anymore. We're done with the literally cannot sink, which is sinking. Yeah, still very concernative considering that, you know, we were the ones that wrought the havoc onto the ship itself. So we gotta find some height in order to get on top of this iceberg, because that's where our last passenger is. So let's keep climbing up here. I mean, this does help to get some height. And there we are. We can now make our jump over here, which I didn't do properly. You can get back onto the big iceberg that had the rift token, and then we can jump over this way and use the hook. This is the intended way to do it. I just messed up the jump because from up there, I was going toward the passenger, but then I veered off to this one. If I stuck to where I was going, I probably would have made it, but that is the proper way you're supposed to do it. It's Mr. Fish Dude!
You're like pretty strong, huh?
Yeah, so everyone has something to say while rescuing them. I mean, if I had emotes, I would say sorry.
Don't wait up for me, pup. Get in the boat and scram. This is my dang ship, and I'll go down with it.
Well, you know the old adjective. Captain always goes down with the ship. But this wasn't due to his captaincy. This was me hijacking the controls. To be honest, he shouldn't have left the seals in control and leave the keys in the ignition. Or, you know, have like a steering lock or something. He shouldn't have done that. But I guess because you're just going straight forward, you wouldn't have to always be at the helm. But then again, you would have someone at the helm, so... is it his fault or my fault? Many questions! Well, that's somehow active. Don't ask me how that works. And now we do have to go down there. That's why I thought there was someone down there, because it's later on. But I still had to shut it off.
Lass, where are you going? You want to save him? I'm not gonna hang around a sinking ship. If you don't make it back quick, we'll leave without you.
Right, so now we do have a time limit, but mostly because the conductor won't wait for us. But then again, we've also put all these people's lives in danger, and he's probably, you know, taking control to keep everybody safe. I mean, he does manage a train, and he doesn't actually have many passengers on there when he does his stunts and stuff, so maybe this is his method. But then again, he's probably also being responsible because his kids are in danger, and, you know. Have you also noticed that no one's called us out on our actions? And everyone's just assuming it's the captain's fault, but, you know, it's still not nice for him to go down with the ship, even though everyone expects that. Which is probably why he says, leave us be. But then again, he's an old sea dog, quite literally. He's a sea lion, but sometimes people call them sea dogs. So he could probably live anyway. So how did his mate die in the story that we uncovered?
Where's the lass? The ship is sinking. We gotta get out of here. Come on. Get over here, lassie. We're leaving now.
Alright, we're coming. And thankfully that this does give us a new time limit. Our previous time limit doesn't actually add to what we had. It just gives us a new time limit.
Down, pup.
Now, here's the thing. He's telling us to put him down, but we don't actually have control over that. Even if you try to press B or X or right bumper or ZR, whatever your controller is, you can't drop him, just like anything else that you have to do. You have to drop him with B.
Leave me be, pup.
Oh, God. That wasn't good. I really got stuck there. But my controls are incredibly hampered because he's a big boy. Sprint hat is necessary if you are falling behind, but you can also use the time stop hack to slow down the timer. time manipulation, I guess. I'm not too sure. I'm not doing this very well, but my controls are hampered, as I have said. I don't mean to be talking over him, he just chimes in every now and again. It's not tied to your progress, it's tied to what the time limit is.
Put me down.
Ah! No! Panicked there. I was about to die from the ice. Now, we need to climb all the way up here because the lifeboat has moved since we started, hence why all that debris came up. But what we need to do is do this, and there we go!
Oh, pup, why wouldn't you just let me go down with my ship? I can't drown, but at least I could pretend for a bit. Although, without me, this crew will never be able to get the lifeboats to shore. Fine. Crew, let's go home.
Thank you, miss.
Like, thanks, dudette. I totally didn't see this coming.
You were the one who brought up the movie!
Aye, thank you, lass. The little ones haven't learned to swim yet.
I think the problem would have been that they would have frozen to death, because even I can't handle it, and you have feathers to keep yourselves warm. And ice is your weakness!
Hopefully our insurance covers this. Anyway, I can't give out refunds, but it looks like there's something shiny on that iceberg over there. Huh. Funny how our ship crashed right next to it.
About that.
It's all yours, pup.
Oh, everyone is so thankful that we saved their lives. And even though we're weak and we did save everybody, well, everybody that we know, who knows how many people were actually on the ship. We were the ones who did it. Again, I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, it's ironic, it's played for laughs, but it's based off the Titanic. I don't know how to feel about this. I guess people that were probably like playing this game probably don't know, but at the same time, this is based off of collectathons in the past, and that's a thing, so people would play this because it reminds them of the good old days of Mario Sunshine, which was GameCube, which was like at least 10 years ago at this point, so I don't know. Anyway, before you grab that timepiece that you illegitimately earned, our arrow is now pointing us elsewhere. The ship is behind that big old iceberg. That's how far we've moved within that cutscene. Go behind this iceberg. And there we are. Our final Rift token of the entire chapter, presumably of the DLC, with a glow! And yet, because it's so far away and out of visual range, because it's behind a bloody iceberg at the lowest point, the glow would be meaningless. You give the glow to a token that doesn't need it. Which, again, made me think there was a glitch. That the previous ones didn't have it. Ooh, that is cheeky. And that is an easy one to miss, because if you miss this one, you'll go through the entire level again in order to grab it. But you may notice that I said that was all in the pretty much DLC, except for one, if you look at the counter. We'll get to that at a later point, and you might think that I would forget about it. Sorry, don't know what happened there. Yeah, you would think that I would forget about it, because I wouldn't be mentioning that for quite some time, but you'll see why that people thought that this was like the only one, and they didn't even know that an additional one exists within the DLC. But I think we need to get out of here before anyone finds out what we actually did. Plus, that timepiece is actually ours, but we illegitimately earned it. So, I think it's time to leave this self-imposed catastrophe behind, and see you guys next time. Hopefully not behind bars, or in the brig.